Hello and welcome to Sobrix. I'm Adam and this is Sobrix. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. In this video, I'm going to be taking a look at the Lego Majisto's Magical Workshop set. This is set number 40601. It has 365 pieces, and this set was a gift with purchase. I believe this is kind of a remake or a reimagining of a classic Lego set, like they did with the Galaxy Explorer and they did with the El Dorado Fortress. I think this is similar in some respects to those kind of sets. Obviously, it's a good deal smaller, but this was a gift with purchase that was available when spending $250 or more. It's a pretty high price threshold to get a gift with purchase. It's actually the same threshold as the Houses of the World sets, which I have gotten all of those and enjoyed them well enough. So I'm interested to see what this has to offer. I don't think Majisto's Magical Workshop, specifically this set. I know I inherited versions of this character, or the older version of this character, and I'm sure I could dig them up. I might have to look around for whether or not it was this one or what other sets Majisto might have appeared in, but I am interested to take a look at this nonetheless. It does have the limited edition kind of GWP or gift with purchase kind of branding on here, which is really interesting for kind of a classic Lego box. It's a pretty classic look, and that little bit there kind of just makes it extra special. I could see these being a collector's item, but I'm not totally sure, but either way, for me, I'm going to open this up. So in this video, I'm going to open this set, I'm going to put this together, and then I'm going to share my thoughts on it. So while I build, I will speed the video up, and then I'll slow it back down to review this set. So until then, enjoy. Okay, so while we look at the build for this Lego gift with purchase Majisto's Magical Workshop set, I wanted to say thanks for watching, and then remind you, if you haven't already, click the thumbs up, give it a like, and if you like my channel, click the subscribe button. And then I wanted to talk a bit about this build. So we start off, we got some big ugly rock pieces, or burps as they're sometimes called, which is really nice. That's a nice callback to the original set and sets from the era that this is from, and it does cut down the piece count and kind of limits some of the building you might have to do for more advanced rock work like that. So I do appreciate it, and I think they integrated it really well here. So that's nice to see. And we also use some different color masonry bricks. Nice to get a set that has the light bluish gray and the dark bluish gray masonry bricks there. And we kind of do some interesting alternating building for around the hinges there, because as you can see, this can open up. And then onto the next bags of pieces here, we can see the different colors for the roof area, still a lot of black as well, and we kind of build out these little balcony sections here, and then we build up a lot of the structure that makes up the roof. And once that's done, we add kind of some more, botanical elements, or like plant life and different stuff. I have a couple stickers in this set, which I do address more during my full review. And, this is a pretty interesting. There is some repetition because a lot of the stuff is pretty mirrored right to left. So, for example, these roof portions, these sub-assemblies for the roof, are pretty much identical, or exactly identical. So there's some repetition, but that's okay. And now on to the rest of my review for this set. Okay, so here we have Majisto's Magical Workshop, this Lego gift with purchase that's kind of I don't know if it's technically like an Icons of Play, or it's kind of one of their remakes, like I mentioned with the El Dorado Fortress and the Galaxy Explorer, and maybe they've done some other ones as well that I'm forgetting, but this is kind of interesting. It's a smaller scale set. I think this is in reference to a set that came out in the early 90s, and so there's a lot of stuff to take a look at here, but the first thing we'll take a look at is the minifigures, because you do get some. And the first one we'll look at here, is Majisto. So it's like a blue mage kind of thing. Has just a plain blue skirt piece, a plain blue torso with no printing on it, a plain blue hat. They do have one of these clear pieces here, which I don't think they had back in the 90s, the ones with the bar and then the stud there, and we have the nice translucent wand. They have a beard piece there that goes around the neck, and the face has a little bit of facial hair on it as well. And then we have another minifigure here, and I don't know what they are called. I think maybe like a dragon knight or something like that. So torso has like a dragon type thing, little red and black. They have these shoulder pauldrons there, nice expression, no alternate face. Does have a hair piece there, just plain legs. And then it also comes with this helmet piece as well, and the little blue kind of feathers coming out of there. So that's very nice. I think this is a really nice hair piece. And I did want to talk about, because I was pretty sure I had, maybe not this set, but some of the other sets from the early 90s that Majisto came in, and I believe this is one of them. And so the hat is largely the same or identical. It's not identical, but it's very, very close. That looks like the buckle on the old one has a little extra detail going on. The face detail, I mean, I think this is the original Majisto head on the old one, but I'm not positive. The beards are obviously a lot different. The older one that I have, I think there was a few different versions of it that had Majisto with a kind of a hard plastic cape they used to do, and then they also had some versions of Majisto had a skirt piece, and some versions had the leg pieces there. So this is what the torso and head looks like without the beard on there. So there is printing on the torso, a little like a bag, a belt, and a tie up around the neck area there. And so I believe this is, one of the older versions of this character that was remade. And so while I'm going to make sure I know which one of these is which, even though it probably doesn't matter too much, but like this. So that's that. And I actually found as well some older versions of these dragon knights that I have, and I think I have a bunch of these. You can see these are pretty much identical and have the same, even have the same head stuff there, so different printing there. And if you look at it compared to the new one from this gift with purchase, the torsos are not identical. The logo is pretty much the same actually there, but the old ones have kind of the pauldrons printed on instead. And there's a couple other differences just kind of around here, like the red and black alternating stuff kind of around the corners there isn't there for like the tunic on the new one or whatever. Different leg colors there, but very similar and very interesting to look at, considering these figures I would say are probably 30 years old at this point. I think these sets were coming out around 1992, 1993. So they have kept some things consistent over all of that time, and changed some things and updated some things, some for the better. But I just thought it'd be really interesting to take a look at those and kind of compare those, because I am lucky enough to have some of these figures and some of these sets from way back in the day. And I actually think, I don't know which one is which, but this is an instruction booklet for 6076, and I think that one's like Dragon Knights something or other, and it comes with a half a base plate. It comes with a bunch of big ugly rock pieces. It comes with couple horses here, a parrot, the dragon head, some shrubbery and stuff like that. A lot of bigger pieces. The piece count for this set I don't think was very high. Some minifigures, and I know I do still have you know, some of these shields, the other torso down here. And I believe back in the day, and this is something I'll talk about later, this piece, which is included in this set, I believe used to be a print, but I'll have to track that down. So kind of interesting to see this. This is not actually the remake set. This is not Majisto's Magical Workshop from back in the 90s. This is actually a different set. And I also had, you know, this one is 6076. I also had 6075, which is slightly, I think it's close. So this is like the Fox compound, Fox Knights, which was kind of a different faction, or Wolf or something like that. And another one with like a base plate and some big ugly rock pieces and some other stuff going on in this set. And I know for a fact I still have a bunch of these shields and a bunch of these torsos from all these characters. So I thought it would just be kind of interesting for me to go and take a look at that. And I was glad I was able to find these couple people, and super happy to see how they compare to the kind of modern remakes of that. So yeah, I think that's really, really neat, and maybe viewers think it's cool as well. I don't know. It's something that I found to be really cool, is a little bit of Lego history there. And then besides the minifigures, we have Majisto's Magical Workshop here. So we actually do have a sticker sheet, and that's one of the things I want to talk about, because there's 3 stickers. They're all relatively small. 2 of them are identical. For the shutters on the window here, those are stickers each on the tile. And then the one for the kind of scroll is actually inside, but the scroll that Majisto is holding on the, I think on the box of the new one, this is the new updated set, that the gift with purchase, you know, it is a sticker on the box, and you can pretty clearly see that from the box, and it was a sticker in the set. But when I look at this old instructions, I'm pretty positive that was a print, and they are supposed to be the same as far as I remember. And so a little interesting that you know, they no longer make that piece. It appears the wand maybe have been white back then, yeah, instead of kind of a translucent color. And so I would have loved to see that be printed again, but maybe it's just it's been out of print for so long, or maybe they weren't going to make, you know, as many of these as they thought, that they didn't have that print. So that piece is actually a sticker in this modern set, but I'll get to that in a little bit. But those are the 3 stickers. You know, I would have loved for a set like this to have it be all prints, and I actually don't know if that's too much to ask, because this isn't a super sticker heavy set. It's not like a Speed Champion where I need a ton of pieces, you know, printed and stuff like that. And even other sets that are like close to this, I think, have a lot more like stickers. And so I would have loved for these to be printed, but either way, we can look at this. So this is Majisto's Magical Workshop. It's kind of in the castle theme, knights and mages and different stuff here. And this is a pretty cool recreation of an old classic set from the 90s. So we have kind of the door up at the front, a little bit of flower elements here, some torches. I really like this as a print. It's kind of the lock piece for the door. Kind of have looks like a balcony up here with the nice technique, some different like axes to adorn the kind of building here, some foliage. They do use kind of the black, which I think back in the day they used like black for trees or for tree trunks and stuff. So that continues here. And I believe the medieval blacksmith ideas set also kind of did that, which I think is a nice callback. Little other flowers around the side. If we look around the back, there's not too much going on back here, but we do have, you can see kind of some different masonry bricks and some other stuff there. The roofs are nice and slanted here. They actually have a couple spears, and I think adorning them as well, and I think I have them in kind of the wrong way. This maybe should be facing out what I would say is the front of this set here. And let me make sure everything's good there. So that's that. And around the side, they do use big ugly rock pieces here, or burps as some people like to call them. So that's nice to get a couple of those. It's not on like a full, oh, this is what broke. It's not on a full base plate, which the older sets were much more frequently had a base plate or a half base plate included. Lego doesn't do that very often, and you know, they really don't do like the whole specialized base plates like they used to do. And I gotta just do a little bit of maintenance on this because when I was switching the spear over, we had a little bit of an issue there. So get this back in, but this is a good time. You can see how the roof is connected actually, and we had some nice techniques and some nice piece usages here to kind of fill in this gap and make that slope there, which is really nice and feels good. And then we attach it with some Technic stuff kind of going through there, and that's a good connection. They can, you know, move around a little bit, but it's not so bad, and I'm glad that they, you know, put the part on the other side there, so we have it like this. And then there's a whole internal part of this. So from the outside, I think it looks really good. I would love to compare it to the old one or the original one just to see, but there's a lot of really nice stuff in here. It feels very classic, but with some updated building techniques, which I really liked. There's, I think, some new pieces in here as well, and just some things that they wouldn't normally do, and so I do like to see that. But this actually can open up, and I really liked how this was done, because at first I was a little bit suspect about it. So on the back we do have a couple hinges here, and so it's built like two sides pretty much mirrored from each other, and this whole lock piece is on a jumper like that, so you can take that off and then this can open up. And this piece actually fell off when I was futzing with the roof. I believe it goes somewhere like there. And so we can see what this looks like from the inside. Now down here is actually the piece that I was talking about. That is a sticker on a tile, and I believe in the old one it was a print, so would have loved to have that be there. But this can open up, and it kind of just bisects it, splits it right down the middle, right down the door, and you can really see how similar these sides are to each other. There's a lot of similarities, but not identical. There's some asymmetry in here, same up here to accommodate some different stuff going on, or like here to over here aren't quite the same, because we do have the ladder over there for someone to get up onto this upper platform. Behind the ladder we actually have a chest here. We have a little like a fire that gets split into, and it has a pot on it. Over here we have the table, some glasses, of course, that kind of scroll bit there, and still the other platform over here. So not a ton of space inside actually, because like to stud characters down, you could maybe get people up on these kind of platforms there, but down here it's not a super livable space. But to have this kind of propped open for play, I think is really good. I like the detail. It's pretty dense in here. This isn't that big of a set, and not a ton of pieces, but it looks pretty nice, and I actually think they did a really good job on how this looks. So that's very nice. But I think it would have been a little bit better, especially because Majisto in this version is on the kind of skirt or robe type piece. They don't have a ton of spaces where they can occupy, so they kind of just have to be free roaming here. And then you know, for the knight here, they can be whatever they could fit in there. There's no bed or anything like that, and stuff. And then the other thing is that this piece, that the jumper and the lock, you know, it's now a loose piece when I have this open, and I don't think they have a dedicated place where you should, you know, stud it down for play or for storage or anything. Oh, that keeps coming off. And there's plenty of empty studs or, you know, available studs that this could be put on just for storage, but it is something to keep in mind that this could be something that could be lost relatively easily, depending on who's playing with it and how careful they are. So you can open up, get access to all the inside, see the internal details. Not a ton going on. It is pretty compact, but it's still pretty good. Like, there's not really a bunch of room up kind of where I think this kind of balcony area is. The windows that have those other stickers, they kind of can open. You'd have to adjust how far these are clipped down. So if I slide those up a little bit, like that, then there's like maybe a window open, and these kind of pieces indicate like shutters or something like that. But it'd be difficult to get a character to stand right behind that window. There's no platform there. It'd be difficult to get a character to stand behind the kind of railing here. So not a ton of space. And because it doesn't use like an old half base plate or anything like that, the bottom is just a couple of these rounded plates and some longer, 2x plates. There isn't really a ton of space on the outside to stud people down either. So, for me, as someone who likes to display sets more than anything, this is kind of an interesting case, because sometimes for certain sets, I like to display the minifigures with the set. It kind of depends on different, there's people have different whole, displays for their minifigures specifically, and then sets and different stuff. And there could be people who are incorporating this into a big medieval village, which I think there's a new set, like a medieval market coming out in the new year, eventually in the castle theme, and some other stuff like that. And so maybe this incorporates into a larger kind of medieval city build. And I think that could work in that way. But as a standalone thing, if I were to display this on a shelf, I would really like to have a place where these characters could be, whether that's occupying the inside here a little bit and it can be displayed open, or if it's displayed closed. I think I would like for them to be, outside a little bit. I would have loved for this set to include a horse, because I don't know if the old one did, and I guess maybe they were trying to be pretty faithful to the old one. The set that I'm comparing it to, based on the instructions that I have, it is a different set. It's not Majisto's Magical Workshop. It's a more involved set. It has just other stuff. So the fact that one came with 2 horses and a dragon and the big ugly rock pieces and the base plate and the printed tile and the this and that and the other thing, that's just a relic of, Lego from the past. And so I can't expect them to just recreate that same kind of value or that same kind of thing back then. I really like this. I think it looks great when it's closed up like this. I'm very glad that they had a mechanism to close it up, even if it's just something so simple as a jumper there, because beforehand I felt like there was going to be a little bit of separation there just by how everything comes together. If not everything is like perfectly aligned or overhanging a little bit, pieces could rub up against each other, and I really like how this looks closed up. It's certainly good to get more big ugly rock pieces. I actually have a bunch of those because some sets that I had from when I was much younger. And great to get more of those. I think the minifigures are fine. It's nothing too crazy. Majisto doesn't have really printing or anything, and the new Knight I think is pretty good, and it's good to get those. I think this is a super nostalgia baity kind of set, and it delivers in a lot of ways on that. But as a set unto itself, if it wasn't a remake of something else from 30 years ago, I would probably say that it's not perfect because of the lack of space for minifigures, because of just the couple stickers there, and whatever else makes it seem like, if this just came out today without any of the context or the history that surrounds this set, I'm not sure if I would be as positive about it. So it is pretty good, but I think it could have been done better. And it's interesting because the Galaxy Explorer set I thought was really fantastic, and I didn't build the Eldorado Fortress, and I didn't have that set when I was younger. I'm not sure. I may have, but I'm not positive. So I haven't really seen that one to compare them. And this one I think is pretty good, and I think there are a lot of people there that out there that will really, really like it. I'll show the extra pieces here because you do get some. You do get another one of those extra lock prints there, extra of the blue kind of feathers or flame, extra of the wand, the swords, some flower studs, your 1x1s, your tiles, some Technic stuff here, all your little pieces there, but good to get the extra print and the wand and these kind of feather or fire flame pieces there, and always nice to get extras of those. And that brings me to the value here. So this set is a gift with purchase, like I said. It was 365 pieces, 2 minifigures, and the threshold was $250. Yeah, it's interesting to compare because it is the same threshold as the Houses of the World. The Houses of the World had, I think all of them had fewer pieces than this. They're noticeably a lot smaller. They don't come with any minifigures. So on some level, this seems like a really good value in comparison to the Houses of the World. So if the price point is the same, that's sort of where we're at. This does appear to be good value. I still think that's probably too high of a price point for this set, and I also part of me thinks this set should just be made available and should just be sold. The more they do stuff like this, like updating old sets, I think people really like them. And to have it be limited, I think, plays into the aftermarket's plans a little bit too much. And I think Lego would do well on a set like this if they just sold it. And maybe they factor it all in that if they set the price point at a certain thing, not everybody who wants it is going to get it, but the people that do want it are going to spend at least $250 on other Lego, so then they get this, whereas if they sold this set for $35 or $40 in the store, how much money would they get? And then they add up all of the gift with purchases that they sell out and multiply that by $250, and then or at least $250, and then compared to people who would buy this at $40, and they probably do some whole complicated equation to sort of figure out what makes it work. But I think I would have preferred this set to be on sale. I would love for more people to be able to get access to it, especially people who had this when they were younger or had this back in the day, because I think that's really, really fun to revisit, kind of my youth, and for other people, I think they enjoy that as well. And it was so fascinating for me to be able to find these minifigures that were now being reproduced, and finding these minifigures from 30 years ago in relatively good condition here. Just is really, really fun and really, really interesting to me. And I think a lot of other people who might not have gotten this gift with purchase while it was available might miss out on that. And I don't want those people to miss out on that. So I would have liked for them to sell this, and maybe that's something that'll happen in the future. I doubt it, but this set's okay. I think the gift with purchase threshold is a little high. If this set was like a $40 set, for example, I actually haven't looked on the Lego website because they normally do list a kind of MSRP price, manufactured suggested retail price on their website for their gift with purchases. So they'll kind of put an arbitrary number up there, but maybe it's not arbitrary. They do kind of put something there to give the approximate value of what the gift with purchases are. And I'm not sure what this one is listed at. It could be this one's listed at $30, $35, $40, something around that. It could be more than that. But I think $40 is probably in line with Lego's current pricing scheme. So I'm not really sure, but if this was a $40 set, would I feel like, oh, I felt like I got a great deal spending $40 on this? I'm not sure. Potentially. It's hard for me to think about that there. I probably would have still said it should have been cheaper. This for $30 probably would have been in the sweet spot for me to feel like really, really good about it. If I probably would have paid $40 for it, and then, I might have felt that it was a little much, but I think the threshold that this was at, I don't know if it's still available. I think $250 is a little high for this. I think, frankly, that's kind of high for a lot of gift with purchases. For the ones that are like the exclusive ones for a particular set, like for the Avengers Tower, you get the taxi cab thing, or, stuff like that. I understand a little more, and, that's fine for those things to be exclusive over there. But for some of this other stuff, I think $250 is that's a lot of money. It's a really high spend for a threshold for a set like this. And for people who buy a lot of Lego, even, that's a lot of money to spend throughout the year. And of course, there's no reason to get every gift with purchase. It's totally fine to skip them. I tend to try to get a lot of them, but I don't always get them. And so, that's a little interesting, but I do think that spend is a little bit high here, especially compared to like some of the Disney gift with purchase spends have been actually really good value, which is surprising for Disney, because I think the photograph holder and the Steamboat Willie kind of had good, price thresholds or spend thresholds to get access to that gift. So this is a really interesting set, super fun for me to get a little blast from the past here. and really great, but I wish more people could get this. So anyway, that's that. I still like it well enough, and I like Lego. I like talking about it, so great. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up and give it a like. And if you like my other videos here, make sure you click the subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all the Lego videos I'll be doing here in the future, including more gift with purchases, more, night stuff. Maybe I'll go back and look at some of these old sets from the early 90s that these figures come from. If I can hunt down all the pieces, that could be a fun adventure for me, and maybe something that people who see my videos would enjoy as well. So let me know in the comments. But I'm also going to be talking about tons of other sets from all different themes, all different shapes, sizes, price points, piece counts from all different eras, retired, new, tons of different stuff. So subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming Lego videos. And if you want to support this channel, you can do that right here on YouTube with the membership supers and thanks and all of that wonderful stuff. Every little bit helps, so it is appreciated. And I still have the Patreon, which is in the video description on my channel page, patreon.com/sobricks. And over there, you can get access to all my videos early before they're up publicly on YouTube, as well as some exclusive videos. I have some big plans for that in December that I'm pretty excited about, but the video might not come out till the new year. But anyway, I'm going to keep trying to build a community here on YouTube and over at the Patreon. So again, every little bit helps, and I do appreciate it. So thank you very much. Everybody who gives, everybody who watches, likes, comments, it really means the world to me. So thank you very much. And with all of that said, until next time, thanks. Bye.